Hey everyone, this is Lucid. We're about to hop back into our game with Bandar log in Disciples of YouTube, the multiplayer, the 10-person multiplayer game with a bunch of different people who are hopefully going to all be YouTubing their experience, because that will highlight one of the coolest aspects of this game, which is diplomacy. I had actually read, it was in some book, there's a game called Diplomacy. If you've ever played it, put a message in the chat, but apparently it's pretty competitive, and the people who play it, it's very cult-like, and it's all about your alliances, and there's military units you move around the board, and you end up kind of turning on each other and being allies. It's a very interesting game, apparently, and there's a ton of in-depth thought and then negotiation skills and stuff that goes into it, and I think a lot of that applies into Minions too. But there's other things involved too, so you don't have to be good at diplomacy to win. Anyway. Okay, we seem to be about to get attacked here. Okay, so this is why you should read your events, especially if you take Misfortune. You'll occasionally see this, so we're going to be attacked by barbarians. You know, freaking great. Let's watch, well, that's just killing PD. So that's Ulm and his ally just wrecking the elves. We caught one of Ulm's dudes. We're gonna send our own scout over this way to patrol. And yeah, we've got 2 turns left for this fort, so we just started upgrading it this turn. We're building a lab here. If you build a temple first, you can go ahead and get your preachers, which are things you're going to be needing because normally you don't really want to recruit H1 preachers just because they're kind of a waste, but again with this nation it's your only way to bless unless you happen to have these really freaking cool crystal priestesses, which I'm not going to use until I get kind of swarms of my holy dudes, because that means I'm going to have to commit 4 of these guys to a fight, and I'm not totally sure. Yeah, I have to think. First, yeah. You know, it would be cool to kind of have them on a script. No, I don't think I'm going to. To, like, cast luck or some spell once and then become a communion slave. I don't think we're going to do that. And then they'll join the communion with her, and then she'll do divine blessing. I think what we just need to do, if you think about it, it's kind of a little tangent, but the point when I can take 4 of these guys, which right now is huge, that would be like my whole research core, plus her into battle, which is a big commitment. You don't want to stop. You don't really, having 1 communion master for 4 slaves is not really great. So we'll probably, what are the things we can cast? There's a ton of good astral stuff. I think we really need astral 6. If we have 1 other person that's got a Clam of Pearls and is spamming out Battle Fortune, I think that will be pretty good. Yeah. Or maybe somebody casting Swarm, I'm not sure. So, infrastructure's coming up and we're getting ready to move. This army's kind of moving around, I'm not totally sure where it is, but it doesn't look like these guys are attacking me, but he seems to be worried, and you'll know better than I will because you could potentially be watching both channels. It looks like he's thinking I'm going to attack him, so he's jumping around, and I've definitely got a lot of troops on his border. Yeah, I'm going to take this first, though, I think, before we fight him. Monkey, we need some time to recruit our little army. And with that, what else do we have? For research, yeah, we're running up to Alt 5. Alt 5 is going to give us Wooden Warriors, too. The one problem with Wooden Warriors is if you're bringing... I could do, like, one of these guys with 4 of these, and then the Crystal Priestess, and that would probably be okay. You have to have really high slave-to-master ratios if you're using off-path casting. So if we're casting nature spells and we have only astral slaves, then it's going to be bad news if we have many masters. So maybe just 1. And when I get Alt 5, he can do Wooden Warriors, and then later we can switch to Battle fortune. So I think that's about it. There's not too much interesting happening. We're just researching. We're gonna get our first Rishi this turn, I think. Yeah, I think it's our first. And yeah. We need to get another fort, but we don't really have enough land. The one thing, and we could do this, and I need to think, I'm a little bit farther ahead of this in the real game at the time of recording, but you don't need resources as much. Like, if you look at it, I've maxed out White One recruitment, and then these guys actually are... Well, let's just take these off real quick. If I just do these... Oh no, I am resource limited. Yeah, fuck. So if I'm just doing white ones, I don't really need... But I don't want to just do white ones. I want to do like a mix. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. So... The problem is I don't really have enough land to put another fort up without significantly draining resources from my current forts. Maybe I could put one here? This might be an okay spot. I'm going to put one here, I think, when I take this. This is kind of shitty. This is the one thing, and if the maker is watching this, the maker of Cartographic Revision, which is the map, it's the mod we used to, or not the mod, it's like a program that generates Dominions maps. And it's really nice. I guess Super Rabbit Trail. The way most Dominions map makers works, like the random map generator built into the game, it makes a map with a bunch of random provinces all in it. And then when you go to play, it will assign different starting locations to different nations, and you can get like a really shit starting position. You can be right next to an underwater nation. You can be close to another nation. It'll try to kind of space you out, but it doesn't do a great job. And then sometimes you'll be in a province like, oh great, you'll be in an ocean usually, I think. No, sometimes you get put in lakes. It does weird stuff. But a lot of it is from not the map creation. Well, part of it's from the map creation process, but some of it's also from the assignment process of the provinces you get. So what Cartographic Revision does is it makes it so that basically, when it builds the map, it says this is going to be a start province, this is going to be a start province, this is going to be a start province. And then it adds like a certain number of adjacent provinces to the start so that they all have, at least 4. And then it adds like, and it's going to give them a nice mix of provinces nearby so they have some resources and some farmland. And then it'll add thrones out a little bit farther. And so it builds like a pretty balanced map that still looks kind of random. So anyway, one of the problems with it though is it treats mountains more like ranges. There's not many provinces like this where it's kind of like highlands here. And so what ends up happening is you get these ranges, and anything that's next to a range gets a mountain modifier, which fucks up your movement, and then you have very few real farmlands on the map. Like this is a real farmland. Like, that's not. And it's like, oh, cool, well, there's both. No, really, when it's both, it's nothing. They, like, cancel each other out. Anyway, done bitching. So, it's not really bitching. It's a cool map, but that would be one thing they could do to improve it. And I guess you could come back and modify it, like, if I wasn't lazy. Because I was the one that set up the game, and I actually tinkered around with the start locations on this. I could have gone and made this, like, an actual farmland, and then... Like, yeah, maybe if it's not a farmland and it's next to the mountains, then it keeps the mountain tag. Like, this could be a mountain, that could be a mountain, but this wouldn't be. That could be a mountain. I don't know. It's kind of a lot of different mountain provinces. It doesn't make sense, too, that these would limit your income. I mean, limit your mobility, because it's like, hey, there's a big plain you can march through. Like, oh, I can go from here to here, but it's going to be really slow. Because there's a mountain next door. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's it. Not too much to talk about. That was turn 16. We're going to go ahead and pull up 17. Pangea, apologize for being a bit touchy there. Bandar, Marignon's still expanding. And the reason there's all this room is because the elves are fighting with the giants, and... Okay. So that was actually a pretty smart expansion. You can see he used these mercs to soak up lance charges, so his guys didn't eat them. Good shit. He lost probably a lot of the mercs, though. And then... Yeah, that's gonna be easy. And... Okay, let's go check this battle out. We have our first battle... I think this is like a proper... No, I think we've seen one more. But this is a proper battle. No, it's not. It's PD. Okay. Marignan attacking in the lake. This is probably a... Oh, these are Shark Tribe. Are they? Yeah. Shark Tribe, aka the Bastards of the Ocean. Like, watch what they do to these Agarthans. Boom! They have 3 attacks. And so when you put 3 in a square, it's 9 attacks per square. It's kind of crazy. And then when they go berserk, they do kind of a lot of damage. Okay. The Agarthans actually took him out. That was not what I was expecting. Yeah. Okay, and indeed there was a barbarian attack. So we moved our little army to intercept it. And we did some blessing, some more blessing. And we lost at least 1, maybe 2 Tiger Riders. 2, yeah, great. So, okay, this turn, this army's coming back. We're getting ready to attack these guys. So we're basically going to go sit in our fort. Miklin's got a couple guys there. We're going to attack. So here's our script. We know this is a bunch of knights with some shitty mages in the back. Basically, all we're going to do is put these guys in front, and they're going to be in hold and attack. We're going to put some chaff up here, and their job is to die to the knights, and then come back and splash against the wall of their own troops, and then die to more knights. And then these guys are going to be blessed. So we've got the preacher right up in there doing that. And then these guys are on hold and fire. So the knights will smash into them here. These guys will throw rocks at them and not do much. And then these guys will actually come in and kill them. These guys also are going to be very killy against knights. Yeah. So that's kind of the plan. Trying to think if there's much else here. Recruitment, we're still getting white ones. White ones are good, but they're not great, really. I don't know if they're really worth it before the bless. When I get Bada Yethril, they're going to be really good. Right now, they're kind of like overpriced. These guys, like if you look at them, they do way more damage. 21 damage versus these guys do 18. And these are 23 gold, and these are 16. So even in terms of upkeep, these guys are 13 a year, and white ones are 9 a year. So white ones are a little cheaper, but not much in terms of upkeep. It would take a long time for white ones to redeem their gold cost. Like, yeah. Over the course of, like, the first year of employment, these guys are going to cost 23 plus 9, so that's 32. And the first year of employment, these guys are going to cost 16 plus 13, which is 29. So these are still cheaper for the first year of employment, and there's a good chance they're going to die before that. Anyway, we'll see. But as soon as my bless comes out, I don't want to have like 5 white ones. What next? I think that's about it. We've got, let's see who we got. We got a water random for our Rishi. And let's see what that allows us to get. The nature water. It allows us to get the Yakashini. And I think we get Nagas too. No, the Nagas are a little tricky. I think you have to get, and if you watch my series, you'll probably know better than me. I think if you get these guys, I think they have a an earth random, and then from the earth you can break harder into the, because if you have water earth, then you can get these. So anyway. But you can see we don't really have the gems for that quite yet. I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and watch that battle. These are a little slow until we get in our first war. So that was 16. I think we're on 17 now. Wait, no, that was 17. We are on 18 now. Okay, we took that. Here is our battle. Armenian took that little thing. Okay, the knights are going to run forward. They're kind of coming in on a little stream, which is interesting. Here go our brave monkeys. Go monkeys. I put them right in the middle. I don't know if this was great. It put a little hole in my formation. I probably should have just sucked it up and put them at the front. They don't actually even die all that fast to the knights. They have pretty high defense. And here we go. Go, kill them. Kill them all. Oh, we lost a few guys here. These guys, yeah. I think the problem is the defense, because like my guys have 11 attack, and it's 11 attack against 15 or 17 defense. We're not going to be hitting that often. The tigers are really going to do a lot more damage against these knights, because the tigers are going to have 19 attack, so they're going to be very killy against knights. Which actually, if you think about it, the bless we came up with is pretty good, because if there's units with really high protection but low defense, we can use these guys to kill them. And then if there's guys with really high defense, we wouldn't really have much of an answer, but we have attack on our bless in kind of two forms, so that we've got the attack skill and then we've got blood surge. And we can also swarm them with little monkeys to get rid of the defense. So yeah, these guys actually, I think these guys are probably better mixed in with Marcata, because especially like versus heavy cav. So like if we had Marcata in the formation instead of like a wall of these guys, it probably would be better. Which I guess you could kind of like blob them up and have them move forward on an attack command. I mean, they would be undisciplined, so I don't know. Or you could put them in a skirmish formation and then put them on the same square as Marcata, and hopefully they would kind of run into combat together. The problem is Marcata are going to throw sticks and stones, so I'm not sure how you would arrange that. But the Marcata are going to effectively get rid of the enemy's defense while these guys do the damage. So, okay, now we've got a fire elemental. We managed to summon one of. Okay. And we do have that fire resistance bless, so that was coming in clutch there, so the fire shield didn't kill us. And we've lost quite a few units here. This was definitely not a zero attrition fight. Not only did we lose our monkeys, we probably lost four or five white ones, and then probably like 2 or 3 of these guys, or maybe more. Let's take a look. So we lost our monkeys. We lost 10, so we lost a lot of the Bandar warriors, way more than I thought, and then 3 white ones. But we now have the throne province. Somebody got shrunk in the lab. Oh no, he just got wounded. Okay, so we have this. It's not a great province, though it does give us some income. But it gives us the Throne of Gaia, which gives us 2 growth, which would be really good, except we already have growth maxed out. But it also gives us some income, and then when you claim this throne, it causes a bunch of horrible events to happen to everyone. So I think it will also make horrible events happen to us. I don't know if there's any bias, like it makes it happen more to them. But it also gives us 2 nature income, which is perhaps the best part about this, because we are going to be a very nature-hungry nation. So, yeah. We sent our Rishi over here last turn too, so he's going to start site searching. We're going to need to site search all of this shit. We're really late to the site searching game. One of the things, if you go for like a crazy bless, you're going to be stronger in the early game and you can afford to site search earlier, so you usually have better income, gym income, because of that. If you go scales, a lot of times, while you'll have more mages in the mid game, you're going to have fewer resources in the early game, because the whole point of going scales is you need to get multiple forts up so you can take advantage of that. I mean, scales is all about using non-cap only stuff, in my opinion. So you have to get that key infrastructure out early, and you usually, if you go scales, haven't expanded crazily fast. So you're not going to have like a ton of income to do it. So you're going to be really resource strapped at the beginning. Yeah, so anyway, we're kind of slow on the site searching bandwagon. Like, it's fall, or turn 18, and we have our first site searcher going out. Look at this shit, it's horrible. So anyway, we'll be playing catch up, but slowly. The thing is, having like more gyms right now is not going to make us survive the mid game too much better at this point. Like, what we're going to need in the mid game is Astral and Nature, and we have plenty of that to cast our spells. We don't have any globals we're planning on putting up, so we're okay, but we do need to get going, otherwise we'll be in trouble in the kind of late mid game. So this fort is up now. We're going to basically get ready to fight. We're going to move basically a big doom stack in here. We're going to move this guy into this province so that we can attack any one of these three we want to. We're also going to move this guy here so that we can attack any one of Miklin's provinces that we want to. And then we're going to be, yeah, so this doom stack's coming here, and I think that's it. Yeah. So far in the war with Pan and Satis, we can see Nazca's got a little doom stack here that he's moved in. I'm not sure where he's got it headed. There's some more troops over here. So hopefully, what we really want is them to kill at least one of these armies before we get shat on by it. Like, part of the reason we don't want to be in a 1v1 versus like Nazca Miklin is they're stronger than us and they would just murder us. And what that practically means is they have better troops than we do. So the worst case would be we attack them and then they're like, oh, well, forget about killing these assassin-ridden lands. Let's kill the monkeys and the humans. So yeah, we don't want that to happen, and the best guarantee for that to not happen is for these guys to like make a play and kill one of these armies, and then we like join in and help, which is what we want to see happen. I don't know what's going to happen to this army here, but we'll find out. You can see Nazca is sieging down this. So he's probably going to take it this turn because the fort is broken, because, you know, I don't really get the whole thing with like giving flyers a siege bonus. Because flyers, I mean, I get it that it makes sense with the lore, like what bonus is a fort wall going to really help against flyers. But from like a game mechanics standpoint, flyers are already kind of broken, and the fact they can just jump wherever on the map and like take a fort, and yeah, anyway. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not, there's counters to it, but there's not much that can counter an early game, and especially with this, their whole strategy really is around condors. I mean, yeah, they get condor warriors, and then they also get these eagle dudes who are really good and are going to come out in huge numbers, but the condors, like, he's getting probably 12 a turn from his capital, which is crazy if you can do that from the very beginning of the game. So I think you just have to get Conjuration 3, and then you get 12 a turn for like, or maybe 15 a turn for 9 gems. It's crazy. So he's just got so many. And they're scary. They've got a lot of HP and 2 high damage attacks. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it's one of the things, like, we do not want to fight them, and we're getting ready to fight them next turn. And yeah, it's scary. It's really scary. So I think that's it. This episode is basically just a lead up to getting ready for war. And next episode, we will have the initial war, I think, with Nazca and Miklin. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.